You're looking at a daily chart of the Nasdaq. Welcome to my daily review. This is for my own entertainment purposes. Anyway, the Nasdaq today, it was a significant day for the Nasdaq. You know that the large cap technology stocks are propping this index up and hiding and masking a lot of carnage beneath the surface. It was up 6 points today, but I just wanted to point out that this red line here is the 50 simple moving average. It crossed above the 200 simple moving average. And if I could move this up here, I could show you that the 50 is at 11,400 and the 200 is 11,399.86. So it's just a tick above it, but this red line is going up about 20 points a day. Obviously, if it keeps going sideways, it's not going to do that, but had a strong month of June, went up 15%. It gave back half of it, and now it's kind of stabilized, and I'm pretty impressed, actually, by the way the Nasdaq has withheld, stood up to the, carnage in so many other industries like the financials, and I'm going to go through the steels, the oil and gas, with the oil at $68 today, West Texas crude, the oil stocks are getting crushed on, and the mining stocks just on a demand destruction. And anyway, we're going to take a look at some of that. But first, if the Nasdaq is up, Apple's up slightly. Apple had a decent day. Google is one that is up, had it up 2%. Microsoft, these are just considered safe havens away from the banks. They're slow growers. Yeah, they're going to give you a 2-3% single digit growth, but they're not going to implode like a bank. Pretty steady businesses. Meta, they're laying people off, so they're getting rewarded for it. You can see this one will probably be on our watch list here. It looks a lot like AMD here with the stage 1 base. I don't know why I didn't have that on this morning. Anyway, Meta had another strong day today. Adobe after hours is up, so I would expect the Nasdaq to be strong tomorrow. Adobe is one of the big, QQQ stocks, and Nasdaq 100, I should say, and it's up, almost 5% after hours after a strong beat and raise quarter this evening. But anyway, let's take a look at some of the bank stocks because that's what is in vogue, is in the news. If you're trading, it's very dangerous because you're going to get hammered by headline news, or if you get cute and try to short a financial stock, it'll rip your head off. So it's very treacherous out there. Schwab is up 5% today, and yesterday was up 9%. The CFO, the CEO, and a lot of the executives have bought buku shares of stock here. So they're backstopping this stock. And if you're going to buy one financial stock, I would buy the one that, all the executives are buying. You want to follow the big money, and they certainly have the big money. PACW, this is a bank, Southwest, and it is down 12% today, but up 33% yesterday. And that's what I'm talking about, getting cute and just thinking that it's going to go straight down. They're not. You got to be careful with these headlines. FRC, the same thing. First Republic, yeah, it was down today 21%, but yesterday it was up 26%. So it's too whippy, and yeah, for a day trade, maybe you do something like that, but geez, holding these things overnight, they're like time bombs. I would not even come close to these things. Another thing I would not touch, the oil and gas stocks. We talked about this for a long time. Devon is an exploration stock, had this big run, but this is stage 1. If you're doing the Weinstein, dance, song and dance is stage 4. I should say phases, because they are phases. Phase 1 here, and then phase 2 is a long phase, and then phase 3 is the topping phase, and now it's in stage 4 decline. So, you just can't touch these things. I know people are saying, well, Buffett bought Oxy. Well, Buffett's on a different time frame. He's in a different planet than we are. So you can't invest like Buffett. Same thing as Devon. They're just in stage 4 declines. And it's all of them. There were some safe havens here, but the field services stocks have now plummeted due to the demand destruction, and we're seeing this in a lot of the commodities, which I think is fine, because they are inflationary. And it's just, it's a cyclical business. And this is part of the down cycle. This is ProFact. They changed their ticker symbol to ACDC, and this stock is on the highway to hell right here. Just, man, devastating losses day after day. And the steel stocks, the same thing. Steel Dynamics, just getting crushed. This is demand destruction that you're seeing in a lot of the commodities. They're just picture after picture. It's just the same thing. There's really nothing to say here, just besides stay away, avoid, beware, caution. So oil is at $68 last I checked, West Texas. And just as it's rolling over to all the commodity stocks. So I'm going to get away from there and just go to something that I kind of like, and that's drugs. And this is NVO. They've got the the weight loss drugs, and this is just marking time here above the 50. I didn't even look at it much today. I just noticed it. It's above the 50. Right there at the 21, doing nothing wrong. It's holding up well despite the carnage. All around it. PTGX is another one that showed up on my screens. Just a momentum stock here. You can see it gapped up on, I believe, a phase 3 trial positive, but that one's doing well. And TGTX, they got approval. They launched their drug. There's no telling how well it's doing yet. They'll have earnings in May, and you'll probably know more then. But it's holding up near the 50, not doing too bad. Some of the semiconductor stocks, the fabless. AMD obviously had this, stage 1. We talked about this, and it's breaking out here, up 2.5% today. Nice, a little bit after hours. So we'll see what happens here with AMD. I think this thing could definitely push towards the 100 area. NVDA is quite a bit ahead of it. It broke out way back and then pulled back to the 21 a couple times recently, and is just forming like this little shelf here, this little shelf area, and holding its gains despite, just a terrible market. Gosh, it's treacherous out there. And ALGM is another one that I like. This is a semiconductor manufacturing stock, and it's had its breakout and it's holding up its gains well. I mean, any stock above the 21 EMA and this tape is doing pretty doggone good. This one is 1.8% above the 21. I'm going to take a look at a couple retail stocks. This one, ELF on the shelf, is just forming this little shelf here. And it's trading above its 21. It was up today. I don't know if it had news or anything. It was just, it's highly thought of by the teens. I think it's the #1 cosmetic teen brand. And ULTA is another one, Ulta Beauty. They had earnings recently, and it's above the moving averages, holding up well. It's not making new highs, but it's not far off the highs. And CROX, I listened to their presentation today. Phenomenal. The CFO said that Q1 is doing better than expected. They're going to unlock their $1 billion stock buyback program, and they think their stock is undervalued. They had a lot of good things to say about new products and sales, not only in U.S., but global sales. So I'm with them. I believe this thing's undervalued. It's below the 50 here, but it needs to rip through that thing to get a little more aggressive with, a retail stock. Want to see it above this red line here, which I believe is about 120, 121, something like that. Let me get the 121, we'll call it. It's 2.9% below that. But anyway, that's it for today. Be careful out there. We have OPEX on Friday. It's going to be volatile. Don't get burned by some headline news that make your stocks crater. Anyway, we never give up.